On an absolutely perfect fall Friday night in Michigan, how about a little football? Well, the other kind of football. This is the Detroit Public School League Championship in soccer. It's Cass Tech against Detroit Western. Glad you're making a little time for us on a Friday night, wherever you may be. Evan Stockton alongside Lexi Ayala. Lexi, as we approach the start of this match, Cass Tech, Detroit Western, both in the midst of very good seasons in the rising reputation of Detroit Public School League soccer. We'll hear from both coaches from these sides in just a little bit. But Lex, in your athletic experience, as you approach any sort of championship game, what are you thinking about?
Blood. You're going for it all. I mean, championship game, that's time to draw blood. I don't care if it sounds intense. It's game time. We're going for it. And soccer's a physical sport. They're going to get out there and get after it.
I was not expecting you to say blood, by the way. I was expecting, competitive, keep the juice foot. No, blood.
I told you I was in the spooky mood. It's getting fall time.
It's very true.
It's that time of the year.
October's tomorrow. You know, it is interesting, Lex, looking forward to this game. Again, we're going to hear from both coaches in just a little bit. They did talk to us entering this match and talked about wanting to get off to a good start. In your experience, regardless of sport, how do you not put pressure on yourself early in a game, early in a match, when it is important and you do want to get off to a good start?
Yeah, I've talked about it a lot before in basketball broadcasts. Same goes for any sport, the amnesia effect. Anytime you make a mistake, forgetting about it immediately, moving on to the next play, I think that takes a lot of the pressure off, and knowing that a lot of these sports, it's a game of mistakes. That's part of the game, and you know that going into it, that in order to be successful, you have to make a million mistakes first.
Looking forward to this one. Detroit Western and Cass Tech for the championship of soccer in the Detroit Public School League. Let's hit our first break. Come on back, and you'll hear from the head coaches, Philip Jack for the Technicians and Brad Dewar for the Cowboys. It's on the other side of the prep right after this.
Your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
All right, we're back getting ready for the Detroit Public School League Soccer Championship on a perfect Friday night on the last day of September. Evan Stockton with the head coach of Detroit Cass Tech, Philip Jack, and
yes.
Coach Brad Dewar, the head coach of Detroit Western. Excited to have both of these gentlemen here. Excited for the match that's coming up here in just a few minutes. Coach Jack, let's start with you. As you enter this match today, how do you feel about the season? What are you looking forward to tonight?
Tonight, there's mostly stability.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, that the boys know what they want and settle down as early as possible, to get things rolling. For me, that's the biggest thing for me is for them to settle down. Once they settle down, then they start rolling.
As a coach, what can you do to get them to settle down early like that?
Well, it all depends on maybe what was listening in the air or something like that. I usually, spend a minute with them, to meditate, for a little bit. And if by chance they happen to calm themselves down that way, then we start rolling. Otherwise than that, it's going to be a long day.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Coach Dewar, same question to you. How are you feeling about the season so far? What are you looking forward to tonight?
We did great this season so far. We're 9-3-1, yeah. And this game is a rivalry game. It's something that's been going on with us. Well, me and Jack for sure for the last 10 years. But obviously it's only the second PSL championship,
Yeah.
though, right? So we just created that last year with the DPS. With the boys, I just need them to control the game. And usually we have it.
It's interesting you just brought up the creation of the championship here in the Catholic League for soccer. Catholic League.
The Detroit League.
Detroit League. Excuse me. We do a lot of Catholic League games here on the
Right.
prep. Speaking to that, obviously people think of Detroit Public School League football. Fantastic.
Right.
Basketball in the winter.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Question to both of you. Let's start with Coach Dewar here, then Coach Jack, you can respond as well. What makes Detroit Public School League soccer so fun to be a part of?
Me and Jack pretty much created it. I mean, Western's been their name's starting to get known by everybody. It's not just the Detroit area. We played CC last week, and we played Woodhaven yesterday.
Sometimes we play.
Trying to get them
Country
Cantons and John Glenn's and them guys, but they won't play us yet.
Really?
Yeah,
We've
try to get
tried,
them to
but
come down. Yeah.
The KLLA is a little bit different because I coached over there for a while, and they just have so many games that are back to back with each other, so it's hard to get an extra game into there. But
Coach Jack, what do you say?
Yeah, for us, down in the city, like he was saying, we started, I would say about 15 years ago, wanting to have, soccer in every school, in every high school. No funding, no.
which we finally got.
That we finally got that now.
Thank you,
So
Mikhail
this,
Covington.
yes, indeed. So this game today, is a representation of years of fighting to, to get us up and running, to get the city soccer up and running in all the high schools, and seem like we're on our way. Seem like we're on
We're getting
a
there.
steady pace.
Yeah, we're getting
seem
there.
like we're getting there.
Well, that's fantastic. We're looking forward to this match coming up here in just a little bit. Last question for the two of you. I know you're not going to give me actual keys and actual strategy because you're standing right next to each other, and that would defeat the purpose.
Yeah.
But we'll start with you, Coach Jack. What do you think will constitute a successful night for your team in a couple hours here once the match is over?
Yeah, well, with the Western boys, we got to, definitely have a jump on them from early, because once they start running, they start running. It's a good team. They're very settled. They know each other very well. They know how to pass the ball. But for us, we usually start early. And once we do that, we usually have a jump on things. If we don't score like in the first 5 minutes, yeah, we got a long day. We got a long day. And he's laughing. He knows that. We got a long day.
Coach
Well,
Dewar,
and
what
the
are you
best thing
thinking?
about Western is my boys play better from behind. So, like, as soon as you get score on us, that's when
Yeah,
they wake
then
up.
they amp it
and
up
then they
a little
wake it
bit.
up,
Yeah,
and then
they
it's
wake
just
it up a little bit.
it's all ball control for us. That's pretty much our game. As long as we can control the ball, we can control the field, and when we control the field, it's Jack knows.
So it's gonna be, it's gonna be an exciting day.
Yeah.
It is. It's a nice evening. I don't know, Brad.
It should
I
be
think we should have
1-1, 2-2 game
somewhere around
all
there,
around
2-1
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know exactly which one, but
Okay.
Yeah.
somewhere around in that vicinity.
So basically, they're both saying that there will be no 0-0 draws today.
Definitely not.
If you like low scoring, sorry, you've come to the wrong place. Gentlemen, appreciate your time. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you, my man. Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
be back in just a little bit right here on the prep.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Everywhere you look this time of year, people are running, and that's a great thing because running is an excellent exercise, especially for your cardiovascular and musculoskeletal systems. But the question is, are you running a safe running program? All too often, people are hobbled by things like shin splints and patellar tendonitis. But luckily, simple things like stretching and warm-up, the right running shoes, and realistic weekly mileages can keep you in your running game. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Soccer on a Friday night from Renaissance High in Detroit. This is the Detroit Public School League Championship. You got Renaissance in red and Detroit Cass Tech in white. Evan, Lexi, and the rest of our crew with the prep. Glad you're making a little time for us on a Friday, wherever you may be. Busy time in the sports calendar, of course. High school football in full swing across Michigan. College football tomorrow. NFL on Sunday. Knock on wood, fingers crossed, the Detroit Lions can bounce back after a loss last weekend that, I'll be honest with you, I'm still not over. That's neither here nor there. Glad you're making a little time for us with all of the options you could have on this fall Friday. Lexi, we really could not have a better weather situation for the end of September. We have got 65 degrees and sunny. We live in Michigan. Take that and run to the bank.
That's right. I mean, I'm over here. I'm a little chilly, but I can't complain. You know, for the athletes, this is perfect. For me, I'll take an 85. But if I'm out there running my booty off, then 65 is great.
Well, think about it, right? Obviously, in soccer, you're racking up the miles throughout a match. So you would, as you say, want weather like this instead of 85, 90. Then you're worrying about losing about 8 pounds in water sweat during the game.
That's right. That's right. Then they get a water break, though. The mandatory water breaks. Those must be nice.
I wouldn't know anything about that. I played high school football in the days where that didn't exist. Two-a-days still existed. How did I survive? No idea. All right, let's get a look at the Detroit Western Cowboys. Brad Dewar, their head coach, just spoke to us a few minutes ago, coming into this match with a record of 9-3-1. There's your starters for the Cowboys, looking for a victory against Detroit Cass Tech. Lexi, we will see the starters for Cass Tech on the screen here in just a second. It was interesting. Their coach, Philip Jack, told us in advance of this match, frankly, we need to score early. We need to score in the first 5 minutes or so, or it's not good news. You and I were just talking about this a little bit, but how do you counter we got to score early or we think we're in trouble? How do you counter that? How do you not put too much pressure on yourself in a game like this that is important?
Well, first of all, score early. Then that takes all the pressure off. If you get that score early, now you're feeling good about yourself and you continue on that momentum. However, if the score doesn't come early, and Coach Jack even said within the first 5, maybe 10 minutes is when they want it, that it could look bad. But you have to have that mentality that you can still get it back at any moment and any time.
You can see Mario Ramirez, number 1, right side of your screen for Detroit Western. He's a sophomore. He'll be the keeper tonight. Cowboys are ready to go. They're on the pitch. This is the football field at Detroit Renaissance on Outer Drive here in Detroit. You know, there is a history, obviously, of high schools and high school athletics in this area. Lexi, do you know once upon a time what Detroit Catholic League team and prep power was on Outer Drive?
Are you quizzing me right now?
I'm quizzing
live on
you, yes.
air? Oh my
because
gosh.
Cass Tech hasn't taken the field yet, so we're killing time.
No, I have no idea. I'm not good at my fun facts and history.
Do you know where I went to high school?
Catholic something.
Detroit Catholic Central.
Catholic Central. I was close.
Once upon a time, my papa, Vincent Lee, went to school down the road on Outer Drive. When I told him I was working this game tonight at Detroit Renaissance, he went, oh, wait, that's where I went to high school. Now, obviously, there's been updates to the facility here, but yeah, he went to school right around here. Once upon a time.
And it's great, too, because the coaches were talking pregame in that interview that you had with them, Evan, about how they really wanted to get soccer in every Detroit public school, and that they've been fighting hard to do that, and they finally have it that way.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear the pride that both coaches had, because obviously Detroit public school athletics so widely regarded, the football outstanding every year, the basketball outstanding every single year. But there's outstanding athletes all over these campuses in the great city of Detroit, and tonight we get to highlight a little soccer and just a gorgeous night.
And the respect those two coaches had for each other as well, too. I mean, you put two coaches in the same interview, you might get a little chip on one of their shoulders. Not at all between these two coaches. The respect they have for each other is immense.
When you do an interview with a couple of coaches and they don't kill each other, it's a win in my book.
That's right.
There was no violence. Everybody was happy. Everyone was pleased. On we go.
Shared some laughs. It was a beautiful thing.
Anytime you can share laughter, it's just good, Lexi. It's just
what is
good.
it? If you laugh, you cry, and you what? That's a full day.
You're quoting Jim Valvano, aren't you?
Yeah. I forget the third component to make a full day.
I believe you have to laugh, cry, and think.
Think deeply.
We'll
yes.
laugh and cry in this broadcast. Well, we'll laugh and think. If we cry, something's gone horribly wrong. On we go. Cass Tech with the ball in their back third, turning it over to Detroit Western. Won a bulk of their games this year, 9 out of 12. And this will go out for a Cowboys throw.
In these first few minutes here, we'll see who gets to dictate the tempo. At first, they're both going to be feeling each other out a little bit, baiting each other a bit, just seeing how the other reacts. And after a couple minutes, one team will surely start to dictate that tempo.
Why is it important, Lex, in a soccer match to make sure you're dictating the tempo?
If you can make your opponents have to feel the pressure of you in their final third for a majority of that time, or keeping possession and making them fight for the ball back, that does a lot to their mental.
This is Cass Tech's middle of the field. Cesar Zamudio, the one who played it ahead. And this will roll out. It'll be a Detroit Western throw. Cowboys in the red with various shades of red. I see some maroon. I see some bright red in there. Cass Tech's a much more simple white and green with those interlocking CTs that are so familiar across Metro Detroit. Athletic program that obviously has had great success on the football field for years and years. The soccer team playing for a public school league championship here today. Carol Manzanares dropped it off. Technicians working left side of the pitch. Hoping for possession early in the match, as Lexi was talking about, dictating the tempo.
And that's important too. Cass Tech loses it, but the second they lose it, they get it back, and that's the easiest time to get the ball back, is right after you lose it.
Cowboys on the run, but this one will go out. The touch a bit heavy, and it's going to be Cass Tech throw. It's a bit of an overused cliche, Lexi, but it is true.
It is.
Soccer's a great chess match, right? It's all about that final move, that final checkmate you can make, which leads to the goal. I mean, 11 on 11, all about that possession as you're talking about.
Right, and I mean really little subtle things too. If you can get that turn on them, now you're getting the defense to think that, you know, maybe they can't guard you or strip you as well as they thought they could.
Missed its intended target. That was Lonnie Warren, who here they were hoping for. Lonnie's in the corner, taking it away. Lonnie plays it into the box. Save made by Ramirez.
Good by Cass Tech to get the ball in the box and get an opportunity for a shot off.
First time either team has steered it on net so far. Ramirez up to the task. Now the Cowboys coming ahead. This play is offside. Romero got a head start.
Yeah, and Romero might not have gotten that offside call either if Cass Tech's Pierce Clark didn't kind of trip on his own feet on that run. Slow himself up to get Romero ahead of him and get that offsides call.
You're getting a look at Pierce Clark right now on the right side of your screen, number 3. He's a senior. Well-built, compact defender for Cass Tech. Also roams in the midfield as well. Ball ahead. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Pena for Cass Tech.
A little too much contact on that one, Evan. A little too much. Soccer's a physical sport.
It is. And I think so many who don't consume as much soccer as you and I do don't understand, hey, oh, there's flopping. Soccer's not physical. I beg to differ. Why don't you watch a play like this closely as they volley it in the air? Romero tried to bring it down near the box. It's played away by Cass Tech. Nifty little back heel by Umajago. And Pierce Clark with a rare mistake.
Yeah, and he's hitting himself on the head for that one. He knows that's a rare mistake. Just an easy one touch that he could have settled and brought back forward, get possession back.
Romero bodying away Clark. It is tipped out by Clark, and the first corner of the game will be Detroit Westerns.
And Romero just kind of slipped up with that last kick. I think he was trying to go more aerial and get it cross field, make something happen on the opposite side, make the defense shift, but just a little trip up in his kick.
Just over 5 minutes into the match. Corner coming for Detroit Western and Edwin Hernandez.
This will be our first chance to see them set up a set piece. We'll see what they do with it.
Hunting back post, just missed the intended target. A little bit too hot to handle on the other side of it.
And that's tough. You always want one of your teammates behind the intended target and in front of the intended target, because it's not always that first touch that's going to get you a goal, but the rebound or that second touch that'll make something magical happen.
Pena will send it away for Cass Tech. Detroit Western regaining possession. Here's Romero again. Anthony dodging through defenders. Romero long try. Save made Cass Tech.
Romero with really great handles showcasing that there, though. A lot of times, especially once you get up into the college level, you can't really hold onto the ball for as long as Romero can, but because his handles are so fundamentally sound at the high school level, he's kind of able to do what he wants with it.
It's going to be a whistle and physical play on Cass Tech. That was Khalil Smith getting a little too aggressive. Did you like that attempt, Lexi, by Romero? Do you think he should have taken another step or two? What do you think?
I liked the attempt. I like that he's feeling it out and showing his confidence early on in the game that, hey, I'll shoot it from far back. You have to guard me up here, and just to put that pressure on and let people know that you can shoot from that far out makes them push up on you and gives you more space to get underneath anyway.
Now you may notice we're saying the name Romero a lot today. Cass Tech the other way. Try goes begging. Detroit Western has number 3 Nathan Romero and number 11 Anthony Romero. Nathan's a sophomore, he's a defender. Anthony's the senior who's already had a bunch of opportunities today for the Cowboys. Oliveris tried to get Romero on the run again. There's Pierce Clark tipping it out.
Clark, I think, is another name that we'll say a lot of times today. He's going to be matched up with Romero a lot, so it's going to be a fun matchup. Clark is a strong defensive back.
Oliveris showing off the speed to Romero. Left-footed cross. Headed on frame, and Cass-Tech's got it again.
And that's where Cass-Tech needs some more communication. First it was Clark manned up on Romero, and once he left him to stop ball, that was number 33 that we should have seen step up, Brandon Games, and check Romero without letting him get such an easy pass in.
Well, Cass-Tech didn't score in those first 5 minutes, Lexi, like they wanted to. Western coming ahead again. This ball will be steered away by Cass-Tech. Cowboys definitely winning possession time here, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is Western who's definitely dictating the tempo. However, I think it's Cass-Tech who just needs to be a little more patient when they have had some opportunities in possession. They've just tried to get a shot off so quickly, I think, because they're thinking about, oh my goodness, we need to score in the first 5.
Romero shakes the defense. Another cross in that Cass-Tech handles briefly. Long try, save made, rebound, trickling out. Soto made the first save, and then it got interesting after that.
Yeah, it could have been even more interesting had we seen some more Detroit Western players following up after that shot. After that save by Soto, only one Detroit Western player was there for that rebound. We could have seen something go in had some more people been running for it.
Actually, that's what you were talking about a few minutes ago. Hey, sometimes you, not the first crack, it's the second or third crack,
right,
the one that goes home. Technicians hoping for possession. Touch too heavy, it's back to Detroit Western. And now a mistake. Approaching the middle third for the Cowboys, and it's going to be a technician's throw.
Cass-Tech's thanking goodness for that mistake. They can't hardly keep control of possession for more than 10 seconds at a time before Western just gets it back and heads the other way.
You keep talking about how Cass-Tech unable to hold possession. Well, they're trying to in the middle, and they will play it to the back. And turnover to Detroit Western. Romero on the other end, tracking it down. He wants a handball. I think they missed one there. Now they were playing advantage for Detroit Western, and now they will give it to him on the handball for the technicians. We'll watch it again.
Yep, definitely see it. Hits him in the hand. Late call, that's all.
Brandon tried his best to pull the right hand back. I didn't touch anything. Sorry, my friend, the video does not lie.
My favorite is when a foul is called and you see the hands up, don't shoot, I didn't do it.
Good looking ball to the back post. A little bit too long for Martinez.
We'll see now if Cass-Tech can calm themselves down a bit, get more spread out. They're really condensed right now. Of course, you want to see some of those triangles start to form and get some 3-man play out of that. However, their triangles are about a foot apart from each other. You have 3 players all in one little spot. Too easy for the defense to take it and go back the other way.
You know, Lexi, you just brought up an outstanding point about all the people in sports who put their hands up every time they're called for a foul, saying, what, me? That's a dead giveaway that you did something.
It's a pet peeve of mine, but I'm sure I've done it too. So, I mean, a little hypocritical, but what are you going to do?
It's the same in basketball. Every time someone commits a foul, oh, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
You did. They just called the foul. Ball ahead, and Soto there for the technicians. You and I are going to hold a seminar at some point, telling people how to more creatively not get called for fouls in sports.
I actually have a good one.
Ooh.
When I go for a layup, I draw the foul, even though I'm the one fouling. I slap my hand out, slap the defender's hand. Ref thinks it's the defender fouling me every time.
Is it a law at this point that every basketball player, as they go up with some semblance of contact in a layup, they must yell "and one"? Is that a rule?
Yeah, it is. It's an unspoken rule.
Okay. It's like in a college football game. Before every kickoff, they have to play Seven Nation Army.
I think it's the hype factor, you know?
Is it really that hype when you do it for the 7th time in the first half?
It is, because at that point, once you're at lucky number 7, you really think that one of those should have been called at least. So now you're mad at the refs, too.
Right.
You know?
Coming up on 14 minutes into the match, Detroit Western has had a couple of good cracks on net so far. Aztec does one shot on goal. That's going to be another handball. Second already in the first half for Cass Tech. That was Zamudio that time.
And that could have been a point of attack for Cass Tech. One thing about the issue of their offense being so condensed is, on the flip side, it makes that defense pretty condensed as well. That's able to have an opportunity to get a long ball over the head of all the defenses.
Once again, Romero creating pressure for Detroit Western, and then Cass Tech strong on the back line. Cowboys still holding possession, hoping for the first goal of the match. It's not going to come here.
And I would say that last play is more of a situation where I would have liked to see Romero pass that ball off quicker. When you have a double team coming, then maybe that's the time to find an open guy.
As we're talking about soccer being the great chess match, of course, when there's a double on somebody, it means somebody's open, and a chess move is to be made.
And if Romero can get his teams involved, I think that's where a goal could come out of something, because Cass Tech knows now Romero's the guy. They're going to send 2 after him often.
Here's the possession that the Technicians have desperately wanted. Attempted a try that got blocked. Will be a Cass Tech throw. Hermosillo with the attempt for the Technicians. We'll get a substitute coming in for Cass Tech. Remember, in collegiate and high school soccer, you can substitute more freely than in the professional ranks, where if you're subbed off, you're subbed off. Not so the case at this level.
Yeah, this is the time you want to get the kids actually out here and playing sports. It's more about falling in love with the sport, finding a passion within the sport, than I think it should always be about winning.
May the record show that both teams would like to win today.
Absolutely. And neither team thinks it will be a 0-0 game. So we're just waiting on one of those goals to happen.
Mid-60s, but a lot of folks still in the hoodies today. And a blanket up there. Well, the sun isn't shining on that portion of the bleachers, so I guess a blanket's needed.
Well, isn't it funny how when it gets to the 60s in the fall, everyone brings out the sweatpants and the hoodies, but when it gets to 60s in the spring, everyone's in the shorts and the T-shirts?
It's the truest thing I've heard all day. Manzanares on the corner for the Technicians. They got to head to it, but it went wide left. Trying again along that back line. Rolls out.
Rolls out, but still a good effort from the Technicians on not letting that missed header be the last of the play. Still running it down all the way into the corner and being able to get that ball back for a throw-in.
And now Detroit Western has it taken away on a strong tackle. An attempted long shot got blocked by the Technicians. Detroit Western looking around. They think it should be their throw, but not so in this spot. It's Cass Tech's. Mike, so you just brought up such a great point about, you know, in the spring we're walking around in shorts when it's 60 degrees. In the fall, the hoodies.
So weird. It's the same temperature.
September is a very strange month, as we know, because one day it's 85, the next it's 55. At least we'll get to October, and hopefully we'll settle in a nice little groove here for the next couple of weeks, maybe.
I think March, April is the worst. That's when you're like, okay, like it should be springtime now.
Hey, man, when we get those 3 days of spring in April, it's wonderful before we go right to summer in May and 80 degrees all of a sudden.
But half of March, sometimes you're still going to have snow melting and gray skies.
All right, let's not talk about snow because it's like Beetlejuice. You say it 3 times, it happens.
Okay.
Long ball ahead, Cass Tech trying to get to it. It will be played back and sent away by the keeper, Ramirez. Good job keeping his wits about him. Not a ways a play like that can go wrong. Romero for Detroit Western. Sizing up the situation. Moving right, letting it go. Nice stop, Soto.
Romero, though, had way too much time and space. You have to check him and pick up ball much quicker than that because he's not afraid to dribble in straight at you, full speed ahead, and get a shot off.
Another save for Soto. Big stop for the sophomore keeper for the Technicians. Corner coming for Western. Here it comes, into the box, Soto again! That's 2 big saves in 20 seconds. That's down to the box and cleared by the Technicians.
First, Soto gets the save on Anthony Romero, and then he gets the save on Nathan Romero, his header.
And if this game doesn't go the way that Detroit Western wants it to, the Romeros will be heading home later today and going, you know, that keeper for Cass Tech, what the heck?
Yeah.
You know?
Could have had 3 by now.
Ruined our glory like 4 different times. Maybe not quite what they'll say, but we're paraphrasing. Here's Romero again. This is going to be an offside play. Tried his best to keep it onside. No dice.
And that's tough because you have to be quick at stopping and starting right there. Romero's a speedy guy. So for him to be full speed and then have to stop on a dime and pull that back, not quick enough for the offsides call.
A couple of times today, Detroit Western has been offside. And trying to spring Romero and get him forward.
Something that I often think about too much is what the game of soccer would be like without the offsides call. I think every goalie would hate me for even bringing that up as an option, but how exciting would that be?
Well, it's similar to hockey, right? If there was no such thing as offside, every game would be 12-11.
Right. I just like high scoring. Bias like that.
Now, Brad Dewar, that head coach for Detroit Western, and Philip Jack, the head coach for Cass Tech, they both thought this would be high scoring. Frankly, I'm surprised we're over 20 minutes in and no one's scored yet.
Absolutely.
Long ball ahead, Cass Tech. Into the box it goes. And out of play.
In between 2 Technicians jumping up for a header. Just couldn't get that awareness right in the exact spot to place it.
Couple of men around there. Umajago and Zamudio. Missed them both.
And you see right now, too, Cass Tech's pushed up pretty high.
Why do you think they're pushed up high here, Lex?
They want to get back in possession. The further that you can push up, the more opportunity you have to get more players on possession on that ball.
Will be a throw for Detroit Western. Now it's going to be Cass Tech's throw. You may have noticed during the various camera cuts here the last few minutes, Detroit Western with a bevy of substitutions. In and out they come. Trying to keep fresh legs as this first half starts to wind toward its conclusion.
And I will say also, Evan, going back to why Cass Tech could be pushed up so high, they've gotten a couple of those offsides calls. If Romero wants to make a run, he'll have to be conscious of where that Cass Tech back line is at.
Headed back by Cass Tech. Pressure coming from Detroit Western. Attempted clear, tipped. That ball loose in the box, and Detroit Western's pressure leads to another corner.
Yeah, that's a situation where Cass Tech should have just got it out as quickly as possible. There was nowhere to pass back to. Detroit Western players placing themselves in between ball and goalie so that the pass couldn't go backward. At that point, just clear her out.
And to go and retrieve the ball. Now we will get the corner coming here. Getting a bird's eye view as Oliveris takes it for the Cowboys. Headed away by Cass Tech, a low line drive of a corner. First corner that Detroit Western had, Lexi, was more adventurous, hunting back post. That one more of a stinger to the middle of the box. Romero, left foot, Soto again.
And Romero finally letting a little bit of that frustration out on Soto's success in goal against him.
By our unofficial count, that's 5 saves for Soto in the first half hour of the match. Make it 25 minutes. Only 40 minutes in high school soccer as opposed to the 45 you typically see, of course, in a professional match in college.
And Soto, like you said, just a sophomore. He's in that sweet sophomore season, come out of freshman year, and that's when a lot of players put in that work. They get into the freshman year and see, okay, this is what varsity is really about. This is the work that I have to do in the offseason, come out with a sweet sophomore season.
Good defense by Detroit Western, taking it away. Pena missed it. No problems for Soto. You know, I'd have to imagine as well, Lexi, we've talked about the great athletic success at Detroit Cass Tech, the great football teams and hoops teams they've had. There's got to be an expectation at a school like that. If you're going to play a sport, you're going to have to do it well.
Yeah, any sport at that point. Once you become known in one thing, now the expectations start going up in everything.
Ball ahead. Detroit Western on the other end. Do they open their tally here? In the box shot. Yes, they do. It's Joseph Hassan.
Joseph Hassan with a little celebration right there, too. The finesse and the patience that he had on that shot. Just tremendous. If we'll get a replay here, you see how he makes sure to be aware of that offsides call. Starts from behind, gets in front, and then slows it right down. Watches the defense, manipulates the defense, kicks it right into that right back end with the inside of his right foot. Easy money.
You could tell he's done that once or twice in his life, Lex. He's so comfortable in a goal-scoring situation. You know, obviously, there's all these various chess pieces we talk about in a soccer match. Well, a striker, yeah, they get a lot of the glory, but also you can get a lot of the blame. You got to be comfortable in situations like that, and boy, was Hassan on that one. So the Cowboys open the scoring in a first half that has mainly been in their control. And remember, Cass Tech's coaching staff was blunt with us before the match when they said, look, if we fall behind, it's going to be an uphill battle for us. So what do you think they're thinking about right now?
Well, a coach knows his team best. So if he's thinking that if they can't get a score right out of the gates and it would be an uphill battle if they don't, maybe coach knows that this team just gets down on themselves pretty easily. Now it's going to be a matter of how do you get them out of that slump? How do you keep them determined and excited to continue this game, being down 1-0? A lot of corners for Detroit Western. Today they'll take it from the opposite side this time.
Twelve and a half to go in a first half that has seen Detroit Western score first.
And Western switching up a lot of their set pieces from the corner. Like you said, a couple different ones that we've seen already. And then that last one, they played a short game. Tried to get something off something short and quick. They've mostly been relying on an aerial corner kick each chance they've had.
Hassan, the sophomore striker for Detroit Western, just opened the tally in this match. Team that's having a good year. Brad Dewar, their head coach. 9-3-1, their record by his unofficial account. Well, if it's not official from the head coach, then who the heck can it be official from? It's a team that's been battle tested. They just played Detroit Catholic Central last week. That's one of the top teams in the state of Michigan. Everyone looking around waiting for a whistle, and they finally got it. And there was Yusuf on the attack going, wait a minute, you ever going to pull the whistle here? Can I still play? What's going on?
Poor Brandon Game is for Cass Tech. He thought the whistle was coming, so I think he pulled off and went lax on the ball.
Let's watch it again here, Lexi. All right, so the ball clearly rolls out.
Right.
Everyone looking around.
And then Game is calm. He's not trying to clear the ball out because he's waiting for that whistle.
What's that old sports cliche, play until the whistle blows
right.
or something like that?
It's true.
Then, of course, sometimes, you know, if it's football and late hit, oh, I didn't hear the whistle. Well,
it's a double-edged sword.
Indeed. I'm speaking from personal experience. I played football once, and I got a 15-yard penalty for a late hit because I actually didn't hear the whistle.
Oh, for sure.
But, yeah. May or may not have happened in a state championship game.
Ooh.
Coach staff was real happy about that one.
Do you still have nightmares about that, Evan?
Well, one of the state championship losses happened against the team on this field. So.
Ooh. Given the T today.
J. Rue Campbell and Mike Weber still haunt my nightmares. They run the Cass Tech football team that beat my Catholic Central Shamrocks.
I don't know how to help you with that. You know, you need the amnesia effect. Forget that play, Evan.
It happened 10 years ago. You think I'd be over it by now, you know? It's fine.
You'll get there one day.
We all grow up eventually. Detroit Western still holding possession. We are under 10 minutes to go in the first half of this Detroit Public School League Championship in soccer on a Friday night. Sun is setting. Lights have been turned on as the shadows illuminate the field here. They're enveloping the field. On to Soto. He made the save, couldn't corral the rebound. So, while Gabriel Soto just made another save, it will be another corner coming for the Cowboys of Detroit Western.
That's what I'm talking about again, though, Evan, those rebounds or that second opportunity. Here you see the shot, and then if we seen 15, Sale Oliveras actually run forward and be ready for that rebound, that could have been a 2-0 game right now. But that slight hesitation gives the goalkeeper Soto time to get back on top of that ball.
Here's your corner. Top of the box try for Detroit Western. Cass Tech up to the task. Trying to get it further away from Western pressure. Ooh, friendly fire off the official. Brought down in the middle by Detroit Western.
Cass Tech just having a hard time hitting their targets right now. Have to get those eyes up quicker.
Long ball will be tracked down by Hernandez. Edwin Hernandez patiently playing it back. The dummy. Cass Tech with space on the right side. Majago to the middle, a bit too far of its intended target.
Cass Tech would do better off right now using their wingers more. Anytime that they've tried to get that ball up through the middle, Detroit Western is on it.
Why do you think they're having a tough time getting it through the middle?
I think Western's just doing a really good job at anticipating those passes. They know that Cass Tech's trying to go middle, and I think it would do them a lot of good to get those wingers up and try some crosses, try just pulling it up on 1-2 touches from the sides.
Some physical play, and Detroit Western will have Hernandez leave the pitch for a moment. Umajago was called for the foul a few seconds ago. Lowered a right shoulder into Detroit Western. Soccer's a physical game, but you can't do that. You can't.
Well, you can, but you get a call.
Right. Good looking ball into the box. Brought down by the Cowboys. It's still trickling free. Got tipped, rolling, and saved by Soto.
A lot going on that one. First, Martinez could have had something special happen. He got the ball down, controlled the ball, just didn't put enough juice on it. Right here, you see him come up, bring the ball down with great control, just gets it a little too inside so that he can't put enough strength and power to get her going, and then second opportunity just doesn't go.
And Lexi, let's be honest about it. Detroit Western has dominated this first half.
Yeah.
Yes, they're up by 1. They could be up by 3 or 4. If not for that keeper, Soto.
Yeah.
And in soccer, it's one of those deals where you're up by 1, you feel like you should be more. Well, if Cass Tech finds a way to get one here, all of a sudden you're tied. And Detroit Western sitting back and going, how in the world is this thing tied when we've held at least 60% of the possession?
Well, if any offense can get geared up and going for Cass Tech and get something on the board, Soto comes out MVP of this game because, like you said, it could be a 4-0 game right now, have Soto not made some incredible saves that he has.
Remember to stay tuned at halftime. Mikhail Covington from the Detroit Public School League will be our special guest. Both head coaches for Detroit Western and Cass Tech, Brad Dewar and Philip Jack, spoke to Mikhail's support of soccer in the Public School League. I'll have a chance to speak to him in just a few minutes.
Cass Tech on that play, you see just a flash of teamwork and 1-2 touches and triangle formations until Western just gets right back in there. They're so aggressive on defense. They want to turn their defense into offense quick.
That's what they're doing here. Numbers for the Cowboys. Shot just wide. It's Anthony Romero, who's been all over the place.
Romero, some of that frustration is really starting to leak out of him. But, I mean, they're winning. He has a good drive. He has great opportunities, a good ball, just slightly outside. If he can keep his head up and have that amnesia effect, stay confident in his game, we'll definitely see a goal out of him today.
Under 5 minutes to go in the first half of the Detroit Public School League Soccer Championship. Yusuf Hassan has scored for Detroit Western. Only goal of this game so far.
Western does a good job at sicking you with a double team right away and really overwhelming Cass Tech's offense.
Haven't been many sustained opportunities for the technicians. Mario Ramirez, the keeper for Detroit Western, been all by his lonesome back there for large stretches of this first half. But frankly, he'll take that because that means that his teammates are doing the right things up front.
Yeah.
Ball ping-ponging off of bodies in the middle. Detroit Western bringing possession. Barrera in the middle. Good slide tackle by Cass Tech. Up ahead it comes. Cass Tech trying the right side. A long left-footed boot. Omajago with an adventurous try. There's Ramirez. Back to work.
Some patience we finally seen out of the technicians on that drive. Pulling it back, stretching Western out. 1-2 touches, holding on to it for a moment before getting the ball off, and then a little sneak behind.
Just about 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Let's see if either team can add another to the scoreboard. Western's already scored once.
Got a Western player down.
And it's Victor Ordonez, slow to get up.
Good sportsmanship, though. A Cass Tech technician tried to help him out.
Even when you're battling for a championship, Lexi, you can still be nice to one another. Reminds me of that PSA that plays all the time where the guy admits that the ball actually went out on him. Have you seen that one before?
Oh, no.
It's my least favorite commercial of all time.
I was going to say, I don't know if I've ever actually admitted that.
Dude, you're playing for a championship. There's a time and a place. If the official made the wrong call, I mean, a few years
on
ago,
them,
when the LA Rams had that terrible pass interference that wasn't called, they didn't go to the official and say, yeah, actually, that should be pass interference.
Absolutely not. That's up to the officials to take up with themselves.
I agree. I agree. Western with space right side. Soto, save, rebound high.
And the rebound, Anthony Romero. Again, we call his name because he put himself in a position to score, a great position, following up, running with his teammates, getting in that transition on a break, and ready for the rebound, but almost too ready. It looked like he was so excited, sent that ball flying way over the top of the goalpost.
If poor Anthony Romero doesn't get a goal in this match, I mean, God bless him. He's been working up and down that pitch so far.
Yes.
"75 seconds to go in the first half. Good start for Detroit Western, and Brad Dewar. You see a smile on the sidelines. Sometimes it's rare to see a smile from a coach.
There's another one of those double teams by Detroit Western on Cass Tech.
Jago apparently kept the ball in. The entire Detroit Western sideline was looking to the official to say, no, that's our throw. They didn't get the call. Could be the final chance of the first half for Cass Tech. Not going to come there. Great slide tackle by Western.
And that's another thing that Western's doing is instead of chasing like Cass Tech's been doing a lot of this time, they're just anticipating and putting themselves and their body in a position to steal that without having to wear out as much energy.
Detroit Western preparing to throw, and then they were told, no, it's not your throw, it's Cass Tech's throw. Clock kicking down on the first half, and the technicians will elect to sit on this throw and take it into the second 40 minutes of soccer in the Detroit Public School League Championship on a perfect Friday night in late September in Michigan. It's Yusuf Hassan who has scored for Detroit Western and made it a 1-0 match after the first few minutes.
They say that this is a game of inches, but I disagree. This is a game of desire and will. 4 quarters of epic drama that plays out in real time right before our very eyes. And every season begins the same way, with a desire to win. Those with the will to put in the effort and time put themselves in the best position to achieve their desire. This is why we go to work early and come home late. Why we go so hard and why we put in all these hours. Because we have a desire to be great and the will to become everything we dreamed of and more. So when the drama's thick and it comes down to just those few precious inches, we have no doubt what the outcome will be. Because we have the will to outwork anyone to get what we desire. It doesn't matter if it's inches or 100 yards. We want it more, and we're going to take it. That's game.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. We all know that our wives and daughters deserve special attention, but that's especially true when it comes to their knees. Do you know that females are at a 2 to 5 times risk compared to their male counterparts when it comes to blowing out their knees? It doesn't seem fair, but it's true. The reasons include the way females are made and the way they fire their muscles. But fortunately, there are injury prevention programs out there that can greatly decrease this risk of injury. And if you do know a female who blows out her ACL, don't despair. We have neat, innovative, minimally invasive ways to fix their knees and get them back onto the field. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We were responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic students can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take the focus away from the game. We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
And respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while maintaining a high level of respect for all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
All right, welcome back to the Prep. I'm Lexi Ayala alongside Mikhail Covington. Kyle, tell me about what you do, and I know you do it all the way from K through 12, so take me through it.
Yep. So I facilitate soccer from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade for Detroit Public Schools. So exciting times around here, around DPS.
And how do you get those younger kids, like the elementary level, brought into soccer? Is there any programs, some training camps that they get to do with the older guys?
So there are a ton of kids in the district that want to play soccer. The key is coaches training and coaching knowledge. So we go around to each and every school in the district and we ask, hey, do you want to become a soccer coach? I don't know anything about soccer. All right. But we have trainings, we have development, so we can get our K-8 schools up and running, and that acts as a feeder program into our high schools. So it's been working fantastically for us.
And then how do you bring in some of the younger kids? How do you get them excited to play soccer?
You know what? Really, the kids want to play, right? So their enthusiasm, their excitement is already there. We just want to look for teachers, administrators, volunteers, parents that are as excited for these kids as they are, right?
Yep.
And it's poetry in motion from there.
And what's been your favorite part about being in this position?
You know what? Seeing the high school level grow like it has. So soccer has been around in the district for the longest. Unfortunately, it hasn't been supported. Mm-hmm. So this is our second year supporting soccer in the high school level. So that means, stipend for coaches, right? Being able to pay for referees, pay for buses. That takes a load off of Coach Jack over at Cass, Coach Dewar over at Western. And they've been fantastic to be able to work with. So it's amazing to see, the everybody's flourishing. I get a little speechless sometimes talking about our program. It's absolutely fun to watch, boys and girls.
Yeah, and both coaches said that they've been fighting and clawing to make this happen.
They have.
So now that it's finally here and come to fruition, what's the 5-year, maybe 10-year plan?
So my personal goal is to see at least 60 to 70% of our high schools. So we have 20 high schools right now. Last year we had 3. We're growing to 5 this year with the addition of Academy of Americans at McCarson. I want to see soccer in most of our high schools around the district, both boys and girls. And we're doing everything in our power to make sure we support them any way we can.
Well, I'm sure more great things to come if this is already what's been brought after just a few short years. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
We will be right back with the Prep.
All right.
Your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
In today's ever-changing real estate and mortgage lending world, the importance of a true professional has never been higher. At Success Mortgage Partners, our mission is for every borrower to receive level 10 service, and our goal is to get you the lowest rate possible. We want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Navigating a turbulent market like this needs to be handled by a real professional. So call Todd Barr, his number, 734-674-6159, and put 20 years of local knowledge to use for you and your family. Welcome back to the Detroit Public School League Soccer Championship. Detroit Western with a 1-0 lead as we approach the second 40 minutes of soccer. Yusuf Hassan has scored for the Cowboys. Technicians have had Gabriel Soto, their keeper, keep them in the game. He's made 6 saves. The sophomore has been amazing, Lexi. And as we get a look at the first half highlights, yeah, the Technicians did have an early chance, but you're going to see a lot of chances for Detroit Western and a lot of saves by Soto.
A lot of saves by Soto and a lot of attempts and opportunities, almost goals by Anthony Romero. And it's been intense. They're getting the ball up in the air, Detroit Western, bringing it down with such calmness. And they're confident even in their opportunities that they don't get a goal out of. They're being calm, they're being patient, they're testing and manipulating that defense, waiting to bait them until they have that open shot. So that's what we've seen out of Detroit Western, a lot of opportunities, but like you said, Soto coming in clutch on almost every single one, minus that one.
Off we go in the second 40, and what I do wonder, Lexi, is, let's be frank, Detroit Western dominated possession in the first half, had at least 60, if not 65% of the possession, yet they're only up 1. What do you think the mindset is for both teams as we approach the second half here?
I think for head coach Brad Dewar on Detroit Western's end, I think he's telling them, trust the process, do exactly what you're doing. The opportunities, those shots will end up falling. You're doing everything right. Soto's just doing a good job at defending. However, on Cass Tech's end, I think head coach Philip Jack had to kind of whip them into shape in that huddle at halftime and really light a fire under them. You know, tell them who wants this more. You have to actually be aggressive enough to go after the ball and then calm enough to hang on to the ball. You can tell there's a lot going on in their heads right now. They look just really rushed in that first half.
So we'll see what happens in the second. Just over a minute in. Remember, we play 40 minutes in high school soccer, and it's that rolling countdown clock to 0. No such thing as stoppage time, as you may see in the Premier League, where they had 4 or 5 minutes into the end of the half. Not so. There's an injury. They will stop the clock. Cass Tech in the white, Detroit Western in the red. Detroit Western went at the left side of your screen in the first half. They'll go with the right side in the second half. This is out off of Mejia, and it's a throw for Cass Tech.
Cass Tech gets throwing back. They thought they should have gotten the last one. Lonnie Warren really hustling and working. Thought it went out on Detroit Western.
There's Romero. Turning it over to Cass Tech. Technicians place such an emphasis on the first few minutes of their play in each half. Their coach, Philip Jack, told us before the match, we don't score goals in the first 5 minutes of either half. We may be in trouble.
And we saw that the first half. So let's hope for the technicians' sake that they can get one going.
Hernandez. Clark got his shoulder to it for Cass Tech. Body's flying down, and that is a foul on Anthony Romero, who had some great chances for Detroit Western in the first half. But number 11 in red, as this match goes along, Lexi, the frustration just continues to grow for the senior.
Yeah, and I am a little surprised at that call right there on Romero. I thought that was just a good battle where Romero got the turn on him and the Cass Tech player just went down, but we will get a whistle out of it.
Dangerous looking ball. Detroit Western does get their boots to it. Brought down by Hassan, who has scored the goal in this game. Yusuf passing left. Cass Tech will send it out. Throw deep in the back third for Western.
What Detroit Western does a good job at as well is not just those one-on-one situations. We've talked about that a couple times where it's been a one-on-one and you see the patience and the confidence in a one-on-one, but even in this full team, getting the team involved, they'll take it from the wing back to their center mid, from the wing back to their center mid, and then crossing. So it gets the defense shifted all the way toward that left or right side before they cross, and it has to be such a quick transition for Cass Tech to catch up on defense.
Yusuf Hassan. Steered aside by Cass Tech. Romero around the ball again. Attempted a slide tackle from behind, didn't work. Hassan holds. Waits. Moves. Gives it up. Rolling back and found by Detroit Western. They'll try the right side. Nifty ball. Hassan, shot, blocked. This goes off the corner flag. Going to be Detroit Western possession.
And for as hard as Detroit Western is to guard, you still have to give Cass Tech their props. It's still just a 1-0 game.
Yeah, we were talking about that, Lexi, earlier. Cross in, this one off the crossbar and off the goalpost.
Can't get any closer than that shot, and that's pretty much been the story of Detroit Western tonight. So many shots, so close, but not close enough. Here's that one again. Oh, right between the two.
You couldn't put it there if you tried.
No.
Of course, that's a little quirk of so many high school soccer matches around Michigan. They're played on football fields. Ball ahead. Oh, nearly a chance for the technicians. Romero, the one who took the opportunity away and got it to Ramirez.
Ramirez hasn't had to do much tonight, and when the ball does finally come flying at him, it's right in the spot that goalies like it. Hardly have to move. on the ground, so that can make it a little bit more complicated, but Ramirez does a good job at just getting right on top of it quickly.
When he's been tested, he's been ready. Hasn't been tested a whole heck of a lot tonight. Sun setting in Detroit at Renaissance High School on a Friday night. Yeah, you know, unfortunately, summer's over, fall is here. If it wasn't here already, obviously, because it's barely 7:20 in the sunset.
And then once fall is here, you got about 3 weeks till winter, it feels like.
Right.
So better enjoy it while we still have it.
Well, unfortunately, Lexi, the worst thing about the winter is the fact that it gets dark at 4:30.
Oh, 100%. I can deal with the cold.
Yeah,
I can deal with the cold.
Put on a bunch of layers, stay inside, shovel the snow. I got it.
100%.
It's just depressing when it gets dark at 4:30.
And just gray, 24/7. It's like we never even see the sunlight.
Have we mentioned how much we love this state?
I have not. No, I have not mentioned that.
Greatest state in the union, am I right? Cass Tech playing it ahead. Detroit Western will send it out. Lexi, there's obviously still a ton of time to go in the match. We have at least over a half hour to go. But at what point does Detroit Cass Tech, knowing how Detroit Western has dominated possession, at what point do they really start to push their chips to the table and start pushing forward and really start thinking about the equalizer, you think?
I mean, as soon as possible, but it is hard because of how aggressive Detroit Western is on offense and how they push you up so far that you need to have people back and ready for those transition and breaks. But I would say Cass Tech does look like they're a lot more calmed down right now, so we'll see if they can bring the aggression and pair it with that patience.
Shot for the Technicians got blocked. Detroit Western controlling the ball in the middle and playing it to the right side. Cowboys possession still. Maneuvering around Technicians. Bahia with some beautiful work. The chip in. Hassan on the other end. It is an onside play, and it's his second goal of the night.
Another one for Hassan, and what a great idea by Detroit Western. This is something that I wanted to see out of Cass Tech a few times. The ball goes straight over all of the defense, and then you have Hassan sneaking right behind him, gets in a perfect place to get a foot on it and get that ball to the back of the goal.
Soto has worked so hard throughout this match. But that's 2 for Detroit Western, and now, Lexi, to be blunt about it, you wonder if Cass Tech has 2 in a match where it's been pretty much all Cowboys possession right from the beginning.
That's right, and this is a situation, though, another cliche everyone always says, right after a goal is when that team is at their weakest. Maybe they're too hyped up or excited, feeling good about themselves about a goal, get a little too cocky, and this could be a situation where Cass Tech, if they play it right, they can bring this back within 1.
Still over a half hour to go in the match. There's no reason to panic for Cass Tech, but yeah, you got to turn the burner on the intensity up a wee bit here.
Absolutely, and I think that they've just had a hard time doing both at the same time. They need to be more aggressive and they need to be more patient, which is weird because the two seem like opposites, but it's moving fast, it's going quick, but not in a rush.
Here's Pierce Clark for Cass Tech. The pass to the left and a good, strong tackle. Sliding to the turf, Anthony Romero. Check it, that was Kevin Ortiz, number 4.
Put that on good fundamentals for Kevin Ortiz. Just about as smooth a tackle as you can get. Here he comes right through, giving no choice for the technician to just jump right over him or fall right on him.
Ball ahead, hoping for a teammate on the other end. Detroit Western there instead. Hassan brings it down with his shoulder. He's the guy who scored twice today for Detroit Western. hoping for a championship in the Detroit Public School League Championship tonight. Already got 2, hoping for another. Run on the left side and a very late offside call.
Very late. It looked weird from the beginning, and I was especially surprised because that was over on the technicians, Clark Pierce. He was the one matched up against the runner, and it's not often that he just lets one slip behind him on a backdoor cut. He knows where everybody's at on the field.
I'm glad you brought up backdoor cut. That really did remind you of, in basketball, someone running the baseline for an easy basket.
You know, basketball and soccer are a lot alike. They really are.
Hey, basketball season's just around the corner. Pistons preseason opener on Tuesday.
Woo-woo.
In New York.
Detroit basketball. How do you do that for soccer? Detroit soccer.
I mean, you could do that. We have to ask our friends at Detroit City FC for some pointers. I'm just happy the Pistons brought back the teal.
Me too. It feels right.
It really does, Lexi.
Like maybe we are still the bad boys.
Oh, that's a harsh tackle on Hassan. That's going to draw a whistle every time. Yusuf approaching the box, wondering if that'll be a penalty.
And this could be a very dangerous situation. Western gets a free kick here and goes up 3-0. I don't know if that's a hole that Cass Tech can climb out of.
Just about 12 minutes into the second half. Hassan scored in the first. He's already scored here in the second. Number 2 in red is having quite the day, and he's standing over the ball again.
Got a 3-man wall by Cass Tech in front of Hassan. Ooh.
And the field goal's good. I couldn't resist, sorry.
No, that's okay. Neither could the fans. You hear some cheers. They say the field goal is good as well. Hassan, though, tries to go right over that 3-man wall. Not a bad idea. Just a little too much height on her.
Brad Dewar, the head coach for Detroit Western, will take that. A couple of goals from Hassan already.
Right, and Hassan, I mean, of course, he can set up some type of set piece, get the ball off to a teammate. But, I mean, he's on fire right now. It's kind of like a heat check moment. You have to shoot that one.
It's the second basketball reference from Lexi in a minute.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you tell what sport she played in college?
I played soccer in high school.
What position?
I was defense.
Wow.
Because I cannot dribble and have any fundamentals in ball handling to save my life. Not with my feet, with my hands. Point guard in basketball, but...
I played 1 year of soccer in the 5th grade at St. Patrick's in White Lake. Led the team in goals and quit while I was ahead.
No way.
Yes.
You should have kept playing. I wanted to be a forward so bad. I wanted to score and celebrate.
I knew my limitations, Lexi. Quit while I was ahead.
No, actually, this is embarrassing. My first year ever playing was freshman year. They somehow put me on varsity. And they make me do a throw-in the very first game.
Wow.
I don't know how to do a throw-in. I jump on my throw-in. I don't drag the foot. I didn't know that was a rule. Everyone's laughing at me.
Frankly, that's on the coaching staff for not letting you know how to do that. That's literally their job.
Thank you. Thank you. But it looked like it was all on me at the time.
Clearly, you're over it. Just like I'm clearly over all those high school football losses.
I don't have nightmares about this one. I just laugh about it.
No, I have nightmares. I'll probably dream about it tonight, to be honest with you.
R.I.P.
Throw in for Detroit Western. And we'll have a halt in the action. I don't think you're able to hear this as you watch this broadcast, but I can hear it very clearly in the background. The ice cream man is here.
I love the ice cream man.
Hey, it's the last day of September and we're in the 60s, and it's a gorgeous sunset. I'd love some ice cream.
I get the SpongeBob one from the ice cream truck. What do you get?
Wow. I usually would get the Oreo bar.
Oh, okay.
Or a toasted almond bar.
Oh, wow. Fancy guy.
Are we allowed to talk about this? Are they sponsored?
SpongeBob SquarePants. What a guy.
soundtrack to many childhoods for clearly, as you can tell, people in their 20-something.
There's just so many good songs from SpongeBob.
Chance for Detroit Western.
Ooh.
Tried to get crafty. Had to get the geometry and the angle right on that try. Working on Soto again.
Had a lot right on that shot. Not quite enough. Here it is again. Whew, definitely gets the heat and the power on it. The opening and the space is there. But like you said, it's kind of hard to do some calculations and geometry and math while you're playing a sport.
That ice cream man is still here, by the way.
Maybe he's staying for the whole game.
If we keep talking about it, maybe someone will go get us some ice cream. Cross. Far post on the other end. What a day for Detroit Western.
Oh.
It's a 3-goal cushion.
My goodness. That's what I've been waiting for. A magical moment on a rebound. Here it is. The shot goes off, and you have a runner ready for the header for that rebound. Those second chance points really can make a difference, and that's what puts it 3-0 on this one. A hole that just seems too big and mighty to claw your way out of with 24 minutes left in this one.
Oliveris gets the goal, and Detroit Western with a 3-goal cushion can really start thinking about winning the championship for Detroit Public School League Soccer.
Now the hardest part is for Cass Tech to keep playing this game with the same type of championship game intensity that they started with when they're down 3-0.
You know, Lexi, that's a really good point you bring up. We've all played athletics, some of us at higher level than others, but you've been in similar situations like this.
Yeah.
When you fall behind in a match like this, how do you keep up the intensity when all of a sudden you're down 3, there's 23 minutes to go, and you can kind of see the writing on the wall?
I think what I do, I don't know if this is a good tactic because sports are team sports like soccer and basketball like I played, but I just started taking it extremely personal. When it was down a lot, I just wanted to do better than whoever was guarding me or who I was guarding. I wanted to take it personal, really take it to them and stand out myself. So I don't know if that's the way to go, but that's how I kept my head in the game.
Again! Oh, what a play. Yusuf Hassan, the hat trick.
Hat trick for Hassan, and he's holding that up. Number 3, baby, for Hassan. And Western, I mean, that's what it is. They're really taking it to Cass Tech at this point. Cass Tech demoralized after that 3-0 hole, and too easy for Hassan to sneak behind that back line and get ahead on it.
And credit to Anthony Romero as well, a guy who's been desperately trying to score all night. Well, that was one heck of a cross, my friend. And Yusuf on the other end.
That's a great point as well, Evan, because I said earlier, if Romero can start trying to facilitate with his teammates, that could be a difference maker in this game. Cass Tech put all their eyes on Anthony Romero and started trying to throw doubles at him, leaving his teammates like Hassan open.
Detroit Western just getting greedy now. 3 in the second half and a 4-0 lead. Hassan plays it to the left. Further along to the left side, and this one is going to go out.
Again, though, Detroit Western just kind of having their way with it. They're able to pass it exactly to the targets that they want to pass to. They have great control over the ball once they gather it. And it's quick 1-2 touches from one teammate to the next.
It's a happy sideline of Detroit Western Cowboys. Brad Dewar can give hugs on the sidelines when you're up 4-0. Both Brad Dewar and Philip Jack, the head coaches for Detroit Western and Cass Tech, spoke to us before the match. We started our coverage about 10 minutes before at 6 o'clock. When you get a chance, go back and watch that interview. Impressed by both gentlemen and impressed, Lexi, by how they talked about the growth of Detroit Public School League soccer. so many great athletic programs in various sports in the Detroit Public School League, but they're proud of the growth of soccer. They're proud of the creation of this game, and we're happy to have the chance to bring it to you today.
It is. It's just heartwarming to see someone's pride and passion displayed right in front of you.
Still a lot to be decided in both of these teams' seasons, as the high school soccer playoffs will ramp up over the next few weeks. Of course, in the fall, and the MHSA, the football playoffs typically start toward the end of October. Got to win 4 games to make the state championships at Ford Field in football.
Hassan down on the ground looks like he's stretching out, maybe a cramp.
Right.
Hasn't gotten up yet, though.
Even when it's a little cooler, it's almost deceiving for an athlete. You think you can't cramp up because it's cooler, right?
Right.
Well, not the case.
And I feel like there's a lot more cramps in boys and men's sports than girls and women's.
What are you trying to say here?
I don't know if it's an actual fact that, like, are boys less flexible than girls? Maybe they just need extra yoga or stretching.
I didn't study, physical things in school.
I swear
I
I've
studied
heard
broadcasting.
that. I swear I've heard that. I don't know by who, but Hassan is up now, but it looks like he's definitely got a little limp in his walk.
For Detroit Western's sake, you hope he's all right, and judging by Brad Dewar's reaction, he's okay. You wouldn't be giving him a hug and smiling if he wasn't all right. Oh, we found it. There it is. We have found the ice cream truck.
Oh!
That is the coolest looking ice cream truck I've ever seen.
I was going to say, that's not what the ice cream trucks look like in my neighborhood. The ice cream trucks in my neighborhood looks like, I don't know, can I say this, like a kidnapper van?
I mean, yes, people have been kidnapped in ice cream trucks. You really are into the spooky season thing, aren't you?
I'm sorry, but they really look like that.
So Lexi and I roll up to the broadcast about an hour and a half before the start, and the first thing she says to me is, so if you watch that Jeffrey Dahmer documentary?
It's crazy.
Clearly, because it's the first thing he said to me.
Everyone's talking about it. You got to get hip, Evan.
This one over the bar. That should stop play. Yeah, they hit the goalpost. That's going to be a corner kick for Cass Tech.
One of the first corners that we've really seen out of Cass Tech, it's been Detroit Western, who have dominated the corner opportunities.
Opportunity for Cass Tech on that right side. It's crossed into the box and ping-ponging out of play.
An opportunity that they couldn't do much with. Another situation where everyone's pretty condensed. You have teammates a foot from each other, and those situations, it's not as bad to do that on a corner because everyone's waiting for that rebound or second touch, but just nowhere to pass to a teammate.
You see a lot of smiles on that Detroit Western sideline right now, and with very good reason, with the 4-0 lead over Cass Tech. Lexi, obviously, Cass Tech frustrated by the result of this game. Detroit Western will be pleased with the result of this game. I do wonder, though, if you're Brad Dewar as a head coach, you're very pleased with how today went, but it's kind of a constant struggle for coaches. When you win a game like this,
right?
How do you find the little points to nitpick? What points would you potentially find to nitpick? Do Brad Dewar's job for him.
Oh, goodness. I guess if I was Brad Dewar, I would want to nitpick something that I guess he just hasn't even seen much of, what their reaction would be when Cass Tech does have possession for a while. There haven't been many situations like that, but I think the times that there have, it's at the fault of Detroit Western not being as aggressive and throwing as many double teams as they did in previous plays. So I think that would be the only thing I could nitpick. Just about every other play, they've been throwing the double teams, and they've been as aggressive as heck to get it back on offense when they're on defense.
Substitutions for both sides, as you'd expect. 25 minutes into this second half. Long try. Ramirez tested for pretty much the first time tonight, and Mario makes a nice save.
Mario Ramirez, also a sophomore. So we've talked about Soto being a sophomore in his sweet sophomore season. Well, Ramirez gets a little taste of action himself.
Good looking stop for the sophomore keeper. Another corner for Cass Tech. They're second in the last couple of minutes. Low stinger near the near post. Still Karaman off of bodies near that back line. Detroit Western takes it away. And this will be out for a throw for Cass Tech.
And of course, at this point, Cass Tech probably just a little bit down and less energized than they started this game out of. But even from the start, it was Detroit Western who was getting their head or their foot on a majority of those 50-50 balls. And that just comes down to who wants it more. That doesn't have anything to do with skill or fundamentals, practice. It's just determination and hustle at that point. You can't teach that.
Well, we started this game in bright sunlight. Now the moon is out. Lights illuminating the field. A familiar sight across fields in the great state of Michigan over the next couple hours. Friday night lights. Football, soccer. Such an awesome time of year.
Have you watched that series, Friday Night Lights?
Of course.
Oh, I love it. I love Coach Taylor.
Yusuf Hassan, already 3 goals. Tried for number 4. That went wide left.
Woo. Hassan back in and ready to go right away. That one just, hips weren't open enough to get that ball inside the goal. He had enough power on it, had enough space, but his hips kind of turned. Thought we'd have a replay, but you can just trust me on that one.
It's a dangerous game, trusting Lexi, but we'll do it. We'll do it.
I'm a trustable person.
Now, here's the real question, Lexi. Have you read the book, Friday Night Lights?
There's a book? Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
Have you seen the movie? The
The
movie was based on the book.
The thing is, with the movie, I learned that Coach Taylor is not the coach in the movie. And so I don't know. I don't know if I can watch it. I love Coach Taylor.
Let's unpack this in a 4-0 game a half hour into the second half. What do you love so much about Coach Taylor?
He exemplifies everything that a coach should be.
Okay.
He really cares about these kids more than anything. There's even been some situations where he might have made the wrong call. He cared about these kids and loved them so much that maybe he let them get away with a little something. There was the drug incident with,
Yes.
I forget his name, but one of the players on the team. And he did not want to ruin his entire career, so Coach Taylor did not report it. Instead, he made him come test with him every morning, so he still cared about the morals, right?
Yeah.
But he cared about the players even more.
Hard tackle on Khalil Smith, who's slow getting up from the pitch for Detroit Cass Tech. Here's another look.
Tackle that does not only come in contact with the ball on that one. That gets a lot of legs on the technician right there. Good to see him hop up and head back over to the bench as Khalil Smith.
Lexi, what were your thoughts on Tim Riggins?
That's also why I loved that show, is because the characters were so dynamic. I would go from hating Tim Riggins in the beginning to somehow loving him later, and then hating him again another time, and then loving him again another time. It was so conflicting, and I loved that.
I will never understand why people like the Tim Riggins character. I don't get it.
You feel for his history and his past, and he's been through a lot. You gotta have some empathy, Evan. Come on.
Well, let's be honest, he kind of created a lot of his own problems.
He did, but because of his childhood, his parents, instilled that in him. It's not all his fault.
Honestly, I don't like him because I'm just very jealous of the hair. This one got tipped on its way, and it went wide left. If I could grow that hair, just think of where I'd be.
A flow game.
Been trying for years, Lexi. Trying for years. Adventurous try that got tipped. That was Barrera with the big right-footed boot. Does lead to a Detroit Western corner. Could be one of their final of the match. Oh, a bicycle try. That was adventurous. Got cleared away. It's 4-0. Why not try a bicycle kick? Why not?
Who was that attempt from? Hassan?
We'll get a replay look, I'm sure. You got to have quite the guts to try a bicycle kick right off a corner.
Wow. Detroit Western definitely getting, not cocky with it, I would say more having fun with it.
Right.
At this point. And that's when you try stuff like that. Get a little tricky with it. Pull some extra tricks out of your pocket or your sleeve.
That song, It's Tricky, was in the Friday Night Lights movie.
Yeah.
You know what? I now know what I'm going to do when I go home. I'm gonna watch that movie. Thanks, Lexi.
I might have to watch the movie now, too. I don't know. I've been putting it off.
Hassan with the ball, being patient with the 3 goals already. He has had quite the match. The cross, down low. Soto got his body to it.
Hassan, though, you can't say enough about his control and his patience. 2 on him at this point. Not 1, but 2. Still gets his eyes up in time to find a teammate inside the box and really get a good opportunity for another goal.
They want another. Long try. Too high.
I mean, how many attempts have we seen in just the last 2 minutes? Cass Tech, it looks like they've kind of just thrown in the towel at this point.
Detroit Western getting greedy. A 1-0 lead after the first 40 minutes, and it's opened up here in the second. They've scored 3 times. Oliveras has 1. Hassan has the other 3 in this match.
But shoot, it really is a challenge. If you're not a sports person and you think that you're mentally tough, I promise you, throw you in a game like this when you're on the losing end, and your mental is really tested then.
I mean, everyone talks about the lessons they learned from playing sports. Most of us topped out at the high school level. But yeah, this is one of those lessons, right, Lexi? What are you going to get out of a situation that is what it is? Detroit Western, barring the greatest comeback in the history of Detroit Cass Tech soccer, Detroit Western will win the Public School League Championship here tonight. But there's always something you can take away, even from the final 10 minutes or so of a match. Cass Tech can learn a lot about itself here. It's like a football game where you're down 35-0 in the third quarter. Well,
yeah.
the game is going to end. You have to learn something about yourself in those final few minutes.
And you're right, you know. I think in games like this is also when, we see the very beautiful DPSL trophy that will be awarded to Detroit Western after this one. We can confidently say that at this point. But as I was saying, Evan, it is, I don't think, always a bad thing to have nightmares like you've had about certain plays or certain games, because those type of games, you think about it 24/7. You dream about it, or whether it's nightmares or whatever. It's something that you're going to think about so much that the next time you play that team, there's an extra chip on your shoulder and you want to do something to prove to them, listen, I'm over that hump. This nightmare is now going to become a dream because I've thought about it so much and worked on it so hard.
Modern poetry from Lexi Ayala.
I do love poetry. Oh, like Dreams to Nightmares, the song, but in reverse. Nightmares to Dreams.
That is quite the pull. Well done. I would quote some of Dreams and Nightmares, but then I would be yanked off the air because there's a lot of things I can't say. It's a great song, though. You should go listen.
No, we could make a remix. Nightmares and Dreams.
Okay.
It would be beautiful.
Lexi, don't give away your $1 million ideas on television.
I'm not a freestyler, though. Like, I can't come up with something on the spot.
Well, neither can I. That's why I'm here and not, you know, at the Rap Olympics or something.
Sorry, I'm just laughing about thinking of you even rapping.
What are you trying to say here? What are you accusing me of?
It just doesn't seem like your thing, that's all.
You have never seen me in the car. Never.
I would love to.
Well, if we're talking about rappers, this is the obligatory reference that Big Sean went to Cass Tech.
Oh, I didn't know that either. You're good at the fun facts.
That's why they pay me the hypothetical big bucks, Lex.
Good stuff.
You should see me rap to First Chain by Big Sean. There's a lot of lyrics that don't necessarily apply to my everyday life, but I have fun saying them.
You just like create this false reality so that you can like really get into it. That's what I do.
That album is a good one. There's, let's see, First Chain, Fire. We're getting a look here at a replay as Detroit Western pulls off another foul on Cass Tech. It played it ahead, and Soto made a nice play. Lexi, before we get too far down the line in this match, and congratulate Detroit Western on winning the Detroit Public School League Championship, we do have to tip our caps to Gabriel Soto, who played really well at the keeper spot for Cass Tech. Frankly, he was the reason they were only down 1-0 after the first 40 minutes. He made 6 saves in the first half.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. Your goalkeeper can only be as good as your back line. So there was a lot that got through that back line and a lot that he saved from making this game even more of a deficit.
Cass Tech looking for a little late solace. They'll get it. Cesar Zamudio, the left-footed finish.
Good for Cass Tech right here. Finally getting something in transition, getting a break on Detroit Western, which is unheard of throughout the rest of this game. Western's defense always behind and ready for anything. But that time, Cass Tech gets to get a 2-on-1 fast break. Great pass over and assist for the goal. That's good teamwork right there, and it's got to feel good to at least get one on.
You know, for anyone who says that soccer's not a physical game, Cesar Zamudio has a cast on his right arm. And he is playing through some pain to score a goal for Cass Tech in the Detroit Public School League Soccer Championship.
I had a teammate in high school, the poor girl, she had to wear a helmet during soccer games because she's gotten that many concussions from soccer. I mean, it's very physical.
I mean, obviously, if you watched that football game last night, we're all kind of thinking about concussions.
It's got to be close. I mean, I know football's probably got to have more athletes getting concussed than soccer, but I mean, it's got to be close. And I would say the only reason football is probably ahead is just because there's more players, maybe.
There's kind of a mini car crash happening on every play.
Yeah,
especially
I mean,
at the NFL
you
level.
do get to actually tackle, but they get helmets and pads. Soccer players don't get that. It's got to be close.
By
That's
the
my
way,
verdict.
in case you missed the news, it does look like Tua Tagovailoa is going to be okay for the Miami Dolphins, which is great news. That hit he took yesterday was tough to watch. There's Cesar Zamudio and that big cast. Bit of a makeshift one on his right arm.
And shout out to some of our behind-the-scenes crew. Chase Kaufman with this shot right here. He sprinted all the way down the track to get that shot.
Chance goes just wide right. Cass Tech hoping for their second tally in a matter of minutes. Yeah, shout out to our entire outstanding crew that's here on a Friday night. Of course, you're typically used to watching a high school football game on a Friday night here at the Prep, but a little soccer on a Friday night this week.
Cass Tech ready on that one to make something happen. The shot just goes wide.
Obviously, we've had Cass Tech athletics here on the Prep a lot over the last year or so. I think we're all still recovering from that Cass Tech Southfield A&T game.
Oh, I swear. I have never in my life seen a game anything like that. And then for them to come back 2 days later and play with that exact same or even more intensity and energy with no fans in the stands, unreal, amazing game.
Yusuf Hassan, who you just saw right in the middle of your screen, the man who's had a great game for Detroit Western. The 3 goals that's put him in front.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. What an outstanding strike. Nearly led to another tally for Cass Tech. Credit to them, Lexi. It's like we were talking about, playing hard down the stretch. Nearly had another here.
And they're going to be able to now go home and be able to sleep a little bit tonight. Feeling decent about themselves, that they didn't just give up, that they didn't just throw in the towel. All of a sudden with under 5 minutes to go in this game, a new life has been breathed into them, and they're just coming in hotter than they have almost the entire game.
A new life being breathed into you.
Did I say that wrong?
No, you didn't. It's
Breath.
just, it's actually.
Being breathed.
We're getting everything sorted out officially. No, the reason I brought that up is obviously we do a lot of Catholic League games here on the Prep, and that's a Bible story.
Oh, biblical I am. Love that for me.
I always appreciate a good reference to the good book. Just feel better about your soul, you know what I mean?
Yeah. God is good, right?
All the time. That's what they told me in middle school and high school, and still tell me. Detroit Western coming up the left side. They've scored 3 times in the second half. Cowboys about to celebrate winning the PSL in soccer. But credit to Castac. They've battled hard here the last few minutes. Caesars Mudio has scored. And as you say, Lexi, there'll be some things to smile about for the technicians, even with the score being what it is.
That's right.
Hey, look, make sure I get your phone and do TikToks and all that stuff up there. Y'all do TikTok? Yeah, so take your phone and do all the TikToks and all that.
We have a whistle, and we will have a brief stoppage here, Lexi. Your ears and eyes just perked up. You heard somebody talking about TikTok.
Yeah, I did. The good old TikTok. It's the place to be these days.
I refuse to participate in TikTok because I'm still upset that Vine doesn't exist.
I felt that way for a while, and then I just hopped on the train.
TikToks are too long. They're too long. Vine was the perfect length. 6 seconds. Try being funny in 6 seconds.
There's some 6-second TikToks out there. I had a video go kind of viral on my TikTok.
Congratulations.
56,000 views and counting.
Oh, I didn't know I was calling a game with a celebrity. Wow.
Yeah. We call her Big Lexi. Pretty cool.
I thought it was Big Lex. You want to go by Big Lexi now?
Potato.
Okay. All right.
Type of thing. You know what that's from, though, right? The Vine. The Vine. We're just talking about Vine. You don't know the Go Big Lexi Vine?
No.
Oh, my goodness. It's one of the best Vine ever created.
If you say so.
It's just a Lexi, a big Lexi, getting down, break dancing.
The best Vine of all time is the girl who said Mary Chrysler. That was the best one.
Big Lexi over Mary Chrysler all the way. Biasly, of course.
Romero with that ball for Detroit Western. He had a beautiful cross for a Hassan goal earlier in the second half. Romero. He wants a goal of his own. He's still battling down there. You know, Anthony Romero's going to be happy with the win, Lexi, but I think he is going to put his head on the pillow tonight and go, how in the world did I not score today?
And I can't believe it myself. I guaranteed in that first half that if Romero kept his head held high, kept his confidence up, and just trusted the process, trusted his game, that he would get a goal for sure. And so I am just as equally shocked as Romero right now.
There's a technician down.
That's Clark Pierce down right now.
Getting to his feet.
Excuse me, Pierce Clark. Done a great job on defense. Left center back for the technicians. He's challenged Romero many times tonight.
This is one of those deals, Lexi, as you see Pierce on the side dealing with the cramp. Yeah, of course you never want to speculate on injuries, but when you start reaching for the leg like that, you get cramps.
And stretching yourself out like that. Must be a bad cramp, though. This poor guy tried to get up just to walk over to the bench and went right back down and started scooting toward the bench.
There are a few acute pains in sports, quite like losing your wind and a cramp. It's a brief pain that goes away, but when it happens, it's annoying.
I would say the nose is one, too, getting hit in the nose.
Hassan's already scored 3 times. This time he's crossing it in. Detroit Western looking for number 5. Not going to come here. 80 seconds to go in the PSL Soccer Championship. Just about a minute, Detroit Western will celebrate a title. Cowboys would love to score, but they're in clock-killing mode now.
1 minute remaining in tonight's ball game.
One more try, long shot, save, rebound along the back line. It's still loose and rolling wide. Soto made another save. Detroit Western nearly scored again. Here's a look.
I knew Western wasn't all the way done. I think their kind of keep-away ball was more of just a tactic to pull the Cass Tech defense up and give them more space in the box.
That was another big try off the corner. Why not let it go with about 20 seconds left?
Everyone wants a piece.
It was a 1-0 game at half. Detroit Western got a goal from Hassan in the first half and exploded in the second half.
5,
clock ticking
4,
down.
3, 2,
2
1.
seconds and 1. Detroit Western wins the PSL. A lot of talent for a team that just picked up its 10th win of the year. How far will this season go? We'll have to wait and see. But, Lexi, anytime you can put a trophy in the case, it's a good year. And Detroit Western is going to put a trophy in that case.
That's right. And these are always one of those moments that I feel like is a little hard for me, maybe you as a broadcaster. One team is about happy as you can be, and the other one's about heartbroken as you can be. But what a hard-fought game, and Cass Tech never gave this one up.
We're back to wrap it up right after this.
Your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
World. In today's ever-changing real estate and mortgage lending world, the importance of a true professional has never been higher. At Success Mortgage Partners, our mission is for every borrower to receive level 10 service, and our goal is to get you the lowest rate possible. We want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Navigating a turbulent market like this needs to be handled by a real pro. So call Todd Barr at 734-674-6154 and put 20 years of local knowledge to use for you and your family.
That's you, Evan, a true professional. Maybe you should give them a call.
You know, I hear true professionals work for that company.
Well, they also are probably clients of that company.
That's true. That's true.
Hand in hand.
Congratulations to Detroit Western, the Cowboys, the champions of the Detroit Public School League. Led 1-0 at half, but exploded in the second 40 minutes of soccer tonight. Scored 3 times on their way to a 4-1 win. Lexi, we're going to go look at some of the highlights throughout this match tonight. Detroit Western poses and celebrates a championship. This is Yusuf Hassan, our G-Brand player of the game, who had the first tally in the first half and kept on rolling in the second half. Hard not to be impressed by his skill, huh?
Whew. Hassan, I mean, we said it a million times, the patience, the control, the manipulation of the defense, the confidence to go for a hat trick. Whew, Hassan, he did it all. Absolutely deserved a player of the game. He tried that bicycle kick as well. Goodness, he was doing it all, and Detroit Western's got to be happy with him tonight. Many opportunities that didn't go in as well. A lot of other players on Detroit Western, a name we called many times, Anthony Romero. He had so many opportunities, and he was another guy who, if anyone deserved at least one goal on the night, it would have been Romero. A lot of opportunities at headers from this Western team, and that's where we talked about that physicality. Maybe some of them concussions are coming from these headers. I mean, goodness, they were getting their head on the ball so often during this one. From deep, from inside the box, in the final third, Detroit Western was getting it done on every end. Great teamwork, great versatility, really hitting those triangle formations, the 1-2 touches to really get into a break, get into transition, and make some stuff happen. And that time, it was Cass Tech getting in transition and getting off to a break, using that two-man game to get a goal. And Cass Tech, though they didn't get too many opportunities, the ones that they did get came close, and if they just had a couple more shots under their belt where they were able to get into that final third, maybe this game could have been different.
Congratulations again to the Cowboys of Detroit Western, the champions in soccer in the Detroit Public School League. That just about does it for our broadcast on a Friday night. Make sure you keep it tuned to all of the social media channels for the prep. A lot of great broadcasts coming up, especially over the next few weeks as high school football season starts to ramp toward the playoffs. One of your best places for high school football coverage in the state of Michigan, the prep. For Lexi and our entire outstanding crew, Evan Stockton saying so long, good night. Go have a rest of your Friday night that's fun. Detroit Western had a good one. They're the champs in the PSL. 4-1 winners.